I'm back and ready as ever to be in the kitchen and cooking with you. I hope that you are a fan of Fesenjoon because that's what we're here to cook today. My name is Sahar. This is my mother-in-law, Farzana Khanu, and her English is still not that great. She's working on it, but if she speaks anything in Farsi, I'll try to put the correct subtitles so you understand. She is a mother and a grandmother, and she's been cooking since she's how old? Since how old have you been cooking? 19. That's how old she was when she got married and she got pregnant with my husband. And here we go. We're going to be using ground lamb or beef. I have 500 grams. I guess that would be like about a pound. We have 1 onion. It's pretty large. I'm going to use probably about 3 cups of walnuts. We're going to grind them. I'm going to use some saffron. What else do we need? You need turmeric, pepper, salt, and I think that's it. It's really simple. No, the most important thing, you're gonna need pomegranate paste. See, great minds think alike. She's already thinking about it. My mother-in-law brought this because she's old school, right? Your Farzan is Sonati. But me, I don't know what you want to call it, lazy? And I'm gonna use my Ninja. What happened to, oh, there it is. In general, I should welcome you all to my multi-generational household. It's my kids, me, my husband, and my husband's parents. It takes a village, right? Whew. Onions will make you cry. All right. Hopefully I don't cry. So I'm gonna use some of it for our little meatballs. And then the rest of it we're gonna use for our Fesenjoon. Now let's do the walnuts. I usually go with about 3 cups. You can pretty much use anything to grind your walnuts. You can use like a Ninja, Vitamix, or a food processor if you have. And kind of the texture, you'll see what you like whenever you cook it. Some people, like my mother-in-law, likes it to be gritty. And some people, like my mom, like it to be really smooth. So it's kind of a personal preference how much I'm going to grind it. So I'm going to do somewhere in the middle. So we have the onions, the ground walnuts, and my mother-in-law just added some avocado oil, and she's just gonna kind of stir that. And while it fries, I'm gonna put what I need to for the meat. So we have ground lamb, and we have, I think this is actually a mix of ground lamb and beef. And then we have onions, and we're gonna put some turmeric. If I had to give you a measurement, I would say maybe like 2 teaspoons. Actually, that's probably 1 teaspoon. This is very small. And a teaspoon of salt. And the pepper, Mama. So my meat was in the freezer, and it's not fully thawed just yet. So I may have to wait, but I just wanted to show you guys what goes into it. If you don't want your hands to turn yellow, there's 2 options. 1, you can put this turmeric on the meat whenever it's frying in the pan. Or 2, you can wear gloves, which is what I'm gonna do. So another thing that is a personal preference is the size of your meatballs. Sometimes some people like them really small, some people like them really big. I think I'm pretty Goldilocks with my food. You know, it's gotta be just right. Not too big, not too small. just right. You just gotta take it easy. Okay. I have prepared all of the meatballs, and if you come over here, we slightly sauteed the ground walnuts and onions and avocado oil for about like 10 minutes at a really low temperature. Everything's turned off right now just because life with kids and family. Sometimes you gotta take some breaks in between. Okay, so I've turned it on again, and the meatballs, we're gonna fry the meatballs. There's a couple of things that I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, and it's that you can cook Fesenjoon with chicken, or you can cook it with the ground meat, like I'm doing today. This is pomegranate paste, homemade. It's hard to say with Fesenjoon like how much of what ingredients you need to use, because it really is your personal preference. Do you want to have it be more sour, or do you want it to be more sweet? Like I said, we make ours kind of in the middle. So whenever I add pomegranate paste, I will taste it, and then I'll decide how much sugar to add. You guys are seeing everything that I'm doing, so I'll let you know how much I'm using. These are the meatballs. We're gonna brown them on all sides. And then whenever these are finished, we could just put them aside. I'm gonna boil some water to add to my Scottish Fesenjoon. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. At this point, I've probably added about 6 cups of water to this. Ooh, mashina bibi na. And we added a 1/4 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of pomegranate paste. I'm just gonna empty out this jar. Some salt. Let's see how it tastes. It's sweet. I feel like it could be more sour. So at this point, whenever you taste it, you have to decide, do you want to add more sugar? Do you want to add more salt? Do you want to add more pomegranate flavor? And for some reason, when I'm tasting it, I feel like it needs more pomegranate. And maybe that's because my pomegranate paste that I used was really sweet. Let me taste this one. This one's a little bit more sour, but it's still pretty sweet. I'm gonna add more pomegranate, and then at this point, if I add pomegranate and that sourness is what I'm seeking, I can squeeze a little bit of lemon or lime and add that. So now I'm gonna taste it one more time. I think that it could use a little bit of something. There's another thing that I could add as well. My mom actually, she sometimes adds tomato paste. So let me go see what I got. In this kitchen, we experiment. In this kitchen, we experiment. I was thinking of adding lemon, but I remembered that my mom adds tomato paste sometimes to her Fesenjoon, and it tastes so good. I had a couple of fresh tomatoes. Why not try adding freshly pureed tomatoes? If I didn't have a Vitamix where I knew it would absolutely like puree and like get all the skin, I probably wouldn't have put a tomato in my pheasant because like tomato skin would have been weird in it. But look at it, it's already getting a beautiful color. Look at this. I added the tomato paste. Come here. I'm excited for this. I've actually never done this with tomato paste, freshly pureed tomatoes. Come here, baby. All right. What do you think? You want to stir it? Yes, duh. It's hot. Drinking milk and stirring the pot, multitasking. This is basically the base of the stew, the khoresh. It's the walnuts and pomegranate. And then we made the meatballs, and those are ready. I don't add them just yet. I kind of add them after I feel like my stew is kind of stewed. And then rice, of course, we have soaking over there. I think we'll probably be able to have lunch in like an hour and a half. It's not a fast dish, but it is pretty easy. You just have to be patient. So there's just about 15 minutes left before we're gonna serve. During this time, I just came and checked on it twice and gave it a stir. It's on low, so to prevent it from sticking and burning. That's also why I do it in a non-stick pot. Now, if you want to come over here so you can kind of see the consistency. Now, when I add the meatballs, I can turn it up a little bit because I'm going to stand above it. Turn it up a little bit. Whenever you have the lid on, obviously you can keep it on low and it'll still simmer, but now that I've taken off the lid, I've added up the meatballs that also had cooled down, I need to turn it up again to get it to start bubbling up again. And at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of saffron. This is optional. I know not everybody has saffron. And then I'm going to also taste it. I know most people will brew their saffron and then add it, but I find it works just the same when I add it directly. And we have our rice over here. I'm going to taste it and see how the flavor is. It's really hot because all the oils from the walnut have kind of come out, and the oil is just like the hottest thing ever. It's good. I always taste it and I feel like it needs more salt. And I feel like the salt just helps bring out the sourness and the sweetness and just everything. But I don't want it to be salty either, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. And then taste it again. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's good. It's very good. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can make pheasant. I think it'd be really fun to make another pheasant video with my mom when she's in town next time. And we can do it with chicken that time. She even adds like dried plums to her pheasant. It's so good. I'm just gonna lower it, and then once our rice is ready, we'll set the table and see you at our table. And here we have our pheasant and our whole table spread. That's what you want. You see that layer of oil. That is a very, very healthy oil. And delicious, fluffy Persian rice. We will for sure record a video of Persian rice. And this drink here, don't know if you've ever heard of it before, is doogh. It's a yogurt drink. Most non-Iranians that I've ever offered it to thought it was really bizarre and didn't like it. But there are a few who really like it. It's a very, very healthy alternative to like juice and soda. And I think it hits the spot way more than water.
Very good. Ruchi. Very delicious.
You should tune in.
Non andare dopo, però posso andare.
Thank you.